Hi guys, it's Jasmine. Welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about 10 things to do before you get married with your partner. So this is kind of a random topic. There's literally no reason why I'm making this video other than whenever I talk to other couples, whether they're engaged, married, want to get married, whatever the case may be, it always blows my mind when these people don't do these 10 things together before they talk about marriage. Or not talk about marriage, but you know what I mean, like want to get married. Or if they like have no intentions of doing these things until they're married, it's just weird to me. But just remember, this is my opinion. If you want to do these things after you get married, fine, good luck. But I'm just really glad looking back on almost 2 years of marriage that Shoda and I did these things before we made it forever. So without further ado, 10 things I'm glad I did before I got married. Okay, so number 1 is living together. It's great and all to date when you're living in separate places and you might feel like you know everything about your partner, but there are just some things you cannot avoid when you live together, such as knowing how they sleep, knowing their hygiene, knowing any annoying habits they have, whatever it may be. I feel like, not in a bad way, but you just really get to know your partner when you live together, because there's nowhere to go. When you are at home, there's nowhere to hide. So you will just really get to know each other on a deeper level, and you might learn some things about your partner that you didn't expect. 2, combine financials. So not necessarily share bank accounts, but I just mean however you plan on managing money when you're married, I think you should practice. Whether you are going to share money, whether you are going to earn your own money, have a combined spending account, whatever. Talk about savings, talk about investments, retirement accounts, like get that all out on the table. It's really weird to me when couples are like really serious and they're not like managing money together. It's just interesting to me because I feel like that's such a risky thing to do, to put that off until you've already invested 5 years into the relationship or whatever. Because what if like you don't have the same ideas about money or even spending? Like that's a touchy subject. I am a spender, Shoda is a saver. So even now, after being together for almost 6 years, that's definitely somewhere in our relationship where we not fight, but we have our differences. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm happy about that because it balances each other out. I remind us to have fun. He reminds us to be responsible, so it works out. But definitely, I think it's worth working out the kinks before you get married. Number 3 is talking about kids, whether you want them, whether you don't want them, how many do you want, what age do you want them, because kids is not really a part of your relationship that you can compromise on. I mean, you can compromise the number of kids you want or the age, but whether you want them or not, there is no middle ground really. So talk about it. It's always weird to me when people don't talk about it until they're already engaged or married, because I'm like, that's a big part of your life. And I don't know, I feel like if you can know beforehand, why not talk about it? Number 4 is travel together, and I mean on a plane, on a boat, on a train, whatever. Just because, I don't know, aren't you curious what your partner is going to be like outside of your natural environment? I mean, nothing really to look out for here. It's just, what if you get married and then you travel together and they're a total asshole and like don't know how to do anything? And I don't know, I just feel like it's an experience you guys should share before you tie the knot. Number 5, tell each other everything to the point to where you feel like you can tell your partner anything. It's really weird to me, more than the other ones, when couples are like serious, talking about marriage, talking about forever, whatever. When they feel like they see a serious future with their partner, but yet they don't feel like they can talk about stuff. And like, I'll have friends come up to me and ask me for advice about something, and I'm like, well, you should talk to your boyfriend or whoever, because this is like something that they deserve to know, or deserve to know that you're feeling. And they're like, yeah, but I feel so awkward, or I don't know what to say, or I don't want to hurt his feelings. I'm like, girl, like you have to talk to him, or else I'm just one of those people that feel like if you are hiding the truth, that's a lie. So just because you are not necessarily like flat out lying to someone, I feel like hiding how you feel in a relationship is so deceiving. So make sure you are in a comfortable enough place to where you can communicate about anything and feel completely comfortable. Okay, number 6 is get to know family. I'm not saying you have to like them. I'm not saying you have to be best friends, but I think you should at least meet, hang out a little bit so they know you, you know them. You definitely don't want to get in a situation where you're married and then you find out his family's fucking crazy, because that would suck, because you are in it forever. Okay, and then number 7 is talk about career goals. I got married super young. I got married at 19. So obviously we are not going to know exactly what we want to do for the rest of our lives forever. We both have like a good idea about what we're passionate about, what we want to achieve, blah, blah, blah. But I just really wanted to make sure in my relationship that it's compatible, because if one of the partnership wants a very like flexible job where they're traveling all the time, where it's not where it's not maybe a set schedule, if they want to be an entrepreneur or something just like more risky, and then the other partner wants a very stable 9-to-5 corporate job where it's just cookie cutter, no room for creativity, that type of thing. I'm not saying that it can't work. I'm just saying you definitely have to work together to make sure that sorry, that was a truck going by. I'm just saying you'll have to work together to figure out how to do that. I personally am a very creative person. I hate like having a boss. I hate being told what to do, being told this is how you should do this. So I am definitely someone who plans on living a very my terms type of life. And if I had a husband whose boss told him what to do with his time every minute of the day, that would drive me insane. So Shota and I are very we have very like entrepreneurial goals. Everything we want to do, we kind of figure out our own way to do it. We don't really follow like what you should do in life. So kind of career related, kind of like how you want to live your life, or like what type of lifestyle you want, I think you should definitely make sure is compatible. Okay, number 8. This might be like a bad omen or like a knock on wood moment, but I definitely think you should talk about divorce before you get married, because I mean, as nobody that gets married wants to get divorced, but it happens a lot. So I think you should definitely talk about what would happen in case of divorce. If you have kids, what will happen if you're rich, prenup, anybody. I just feel like it's strange to just assume that it'll never happen. Of course, you'll do everything in your power to make sure that that is a last resort. Nobody wants it, but it does happen, and I feel like it's better to be prepared than to just be naive and just not think about it. Okay. Oh, also about divorce, what are your views on divorce? Some people are like, no, I will never get divorced no matter what happens. This is the person I'm married to, and that's just it. Some people, I mean, I don't think anybody wants a divorce, but some people are like, in the right situation, divorce is right. And also like, what would make you want to get divorced? Different people have different opinions on that. So you should definitely talk about like what is okay, what's not, to the point of ending the marriage. Okay, and then number 9, kind of weird, but I think you should make sure you like and love each other. I feel like you can have a place in your heart for someone without actually liking them. I feel like that happens in a lot of marriages, to where obviously you care about this person, but maybe you just don't like spending time with them anymore. And I feel like you have to have a solid like for them. You have to enjoy spending time together. You have to enjoy going on dates. You have to enjoy just being in a room with them. If you feel like you can't stand being in a space with your partner, either alone or for longer than the next amount of time, that is just like such a red flag to me. Like, I have coworkers before I moved here, like that are in their 40s, they're married, and especially guys, like I worked in the automotive industry, so I had a lot of male coworkers, and they would always complain about their wives and be like, oh my god, I have this day off every week so that I don't have to spend time with my wife. And I'm like, that's so sad. Like, don't you want to spend time with your partner? Like, you're freaking marrying them. You are like attaching yourself to them legally forever, you know, obviously unless you get divorced. But yeah, in situations like that where they're like venting to me, I'm like, doesn't sound good. And most of the time they're thinking about divorce. So just make sure that you really like your partner, and make sure that if you get married, you will continually make the effort to continue to like them. And I've heard that a lot from people in my life that are a lot older than me. They're like, yeah, make sure you keep that part of your relationship as a priority, to spend time, to have date nights, whatever, and don't get to the point to where your partner annoys you to where you don't want to spend time with them. That's really fucking shitty in my opinion. Okay, lastly, number 10 is make sure it feels right. Like, is your gut feeling like the marriage is right? Because I've, like I said, spoken to a lot of older people who have more experience in marriage than I do, and a lot of times, like, when it doesn't work out, they'll say like, oh, I knew this from the beginning, but I just kind of held it in. And to me, I'm just like, fuck, man, no. Like, even if I've like invested so much time and effort and energy into a relationship, I mean, I just don't feel like I'll go through with it if it's not in my gut feeling that this is right for whatever reason. Don't do it if you don't feel like 100% this is gonna be good, this is the right thing to do. For example, like this week I was in a YouTube shoot about monogamy versus polyamory, and the guy that was in the polyamory side was telling us about how in his marriage, he was married for like 20 years or some shit, like before he got divorced. He was saying how he was in a monogamous relationship, interested in polyamory, and even had like books and doing all these things, was obviously like serious about it, but he hid it from his wife because she was not okay with that. But if something is so serious to you, even if it's not, even if it's a little thing, if you feel like you have to hide it from a partner, or, you know, just that gut instinct that like something is off here, don't do it. Deal with your issues. Nothing is more irritating to me when people know what they have to do. They know what's wrong in their life, but they just don't have the courage to face it. You only have one life. Like, deal with your problems so that hopefully you have your happily ever after. And yeah, I think that's it. Those are my top 10 things that I'm glad I did before I married my boyfriend, now husband, obviously. If I missed anything, please leave them in the comments box below, or if you agree with me, disagree with me, whatever. Just remember, everyone's different. Maybe you like divorce, I don't know. So these are all my opinions, but I'd love to have a chat with you in the comments box below. And if you like the video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. That really helps me out and lets me know what kind of content you like to watch. And find me on Instagram. And I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day, great life. If you are with your partner and you love them and everything I said on this video, you were like, yes, that is me, I'm doing that, I'm living my best life, I love this person, get married, fuck it, like, do it. You only have one life, whatever. It's not that serious. So until next time,